$6.60 an ounce. That was silver 3 years before it hit $49.45 on January 18, 1980. 700% in under 3 years. And at the peak, one family and its partners controlled more physical silver than existed in every registered COMEX vault combined. Sit with that number. No context yet. Just the math of a family that briefly owned more of a metal than the market meant to trade it. Here is the version you already know. 3 Texas oil brothers, drunk on cash from the family fortune, decide to corner the world silver market out of pure greed. They buy, they hoard, they push the price into the stratosphere. Regulators finally step in, and the greedy Texans get what's coming to them. Simple villain, simple ending. Everybody nods and moves on to the next morality tale. It's a satisfying story. It's also almost useless because it explains nothing about how power actually moves. Here's what the lazy version leaves out. Nelson Bunker Hunt did not wake up one morning and decide silver looked cheap. He watched Richard Nixon sever the dollar from gold in 1971. He watched OPEC quadruple the price of oil in 1973. He watched inflation run through the 1970s at a pace that erased roughly half the purchasing power of a dollar held in cash. Bunker Hunt did not think he was making a trade. He thought he was watching a currency die in real time, and he responded the way a man with billions in oil wealth and zero faith in Washington responds. He moved into something the government couldn't print. Silver, to him, wasn't a commodity play. It was the last asset that still told the truth. The corner wasn't the goal. The corner was the exhaust fume of a man trying to opt out of the dollar entirely, using leverage most people never get access to. Now the mechanism, because this is the part worth actually understanding. The Hunts didn't just buy silver, they bought futures contracts on margin, controlling enormous quantities of metal for a fraction of its value up front, the way any leveraged position works. But paper contracts alone don't corner a market. So they did something most speculators never do. They stood for delivery. Instead of rolling their contracts forward or cashing out the paper gain, they demanded the physical metal behind every contract, forcing COMEX to actually produce silver from its vaults and hand it over. Do that at scale, and you don't just profit from a rising price, you actively drain the available supply, which pushes the price higher still, which draws you deeper into position. It is a self-reinforcing engine, and it works beautifully right up until someone with more control than you decides it's gone too far. To scale that engine past what even Hunt family capital could support, they partnered with outside money, most notably a Saudi investor named Ali bin Musalem, bringing in Gulf capital that let the position balloon past the limits any single family's account would normally hit. Position limits exist specifically to stop one actor from dominating a market. Partner structures exist specifically to make position limits meaningless. Both of those things were legal. Both of those things worked exactly as designed, right up until the people running the exchange realized the design had a flaw, and the flaw was them. On January 7, 1980, the board of COMEX, the exchange that had been collecting fees on the Hunt's trading volume for years, profiting quietly from every contract that fed the mania, voted in something called Silver Rule 7. It restricted trading to liquidation only, meaning no new long positions could be opened, only closed. And it simultaneously hiked margin requirements, meaning every position still open now required dramatically more capital just to stay alive. Read that twice, The exchange did not ban silver trading. It banned the one direction the Hunts were trading in, at the exact moment their direction was winning. This is the thesis of the entire story. An exchange is never a neutral field. It is owned, it is governed, and when its own survival is threatened by a position that's too large, it rewrites its own rulebook mid-game. Nobody voted the Hunts out of the market. The market's operators simply decided the rules that had built the fortune could no longer apply to it. If you want the mechanism instead of the myth, subscribe. New cases post every week. What happened next has a name. Silver Thursday, March 27, 1980. In 4 trading days, silver collapsed by roughly 50%. The Hunts, still holding a position built on margin, received a call for $1.1 billion they did not have liquid. This is where the story stops being about silver and starts being about systemic contagion. Bache Halsey, the brokerage carrying much of the Hunts' exposure, was itself staring at collapse. A Hunt default wouldn't just cost the Hunts, it threatened to take a major Wall Street firm down with them, and from there, nobody could say where the damage stopped. So a consortium of banks assembled an emergency loan, not out of any warmth toward the Hunts, but because letting the dominoes fall was worse for everyone holding paper connected to that trade. And here's the detail people skip past too fast. The same banking system that had profited from financing the original mania now profited again, collecting origination fees and interest on the loan that rescued the very position it had helped inflate. The house wins financing the bet. The house wins liquidating the bet. The house wins bailing out the loser of the bet. 3 separate payouts from one collapsing trade, and none of them went to the Hunts. But the fall wasn't finished. It just moved into a slower gear. Nelson Bunker Hunt, once counted among the wealthiest men in the country, spent the following years buried in litigation. A federal jury eventually found the Hunts liable for conspiracy to manipulate the silver market. By 1988, Bunker Hunt filed personal bankruptcy. A fortune once estimated in the billions reduced to court-ordered restitution and debts he'd carry for the rest of his life. And here is the part that should bother you, because it's the part that actually matters. The Hunts were not wrong. Inflation was real. The dollar's credibility was genuinely damaged through the 1970s. Their macro thesis, that paper currency was a depreciating asset and that hard commodities would outlast it, was, by any honest read of financial history, correct. They were destroyed anyway. Being right about where the world is going buys you nothing if you don't control the infrastructure the world runs on. The Hunts owned silver. They did not own the clearinghouse, the margin schedule, or the committee that could rewrite both overnight. Real power was never about the size of the position. It was about who got to decide what the position was worth, and when. They didn't lose because the market turned against them. They lost because they mistook owning the silver for owning the exchange. And the exchange, when it mattered, remembered exactly who it belonged to.